Good morning, my millionaire growth partners. My name is Otis Tucker, the world's first trillionaire. I am creating heaven on earth, people, and the way that I do it is by creating financial freedom for billions of people across this world. I am creating a million millionaires. I am the greatest leader that ever lived. I am God, people, and most important is that I manifest the words I speak. My message for you today, people, is to make time, man, to take time to relax and rejuvenate, Basically self-care, making self-care a priority, you know? Um, it's like a lot of times, man, we get so busy with whatever we're doing, whether it's work, our business, our own development, training, whatever that is. It's like we get busy doing all these things, man. And it's like there's times where we have to, regroup and, refocus our attention, obviously back on family to make sure that we always live in a balanced life, man, where we're not off into one extreme and ignoring the other one. So definitely I want you to take the time to relax, to reconnect, you know what I'm saying, and reprioritize the things that are important to you, because all that leads to you a better mental health and so forth, you know what I'm saying, just having things in the right priority and right order, but definitely make time, people, make time to recharge, man, because you can't keep going and going and going. At the end of the day, there's limitations to your body, man. So you have to always make sure you make it a priority where, you're conscious, number one, just being very self-aware of like how you're feeling, physically, emotionally, and otherwise, because all those things, people, affect everything else. So you have to take time to make sure that, you prioritize self-care always in the midst of everything. Always have to make self-care a priority. And as you take care of yourself, people, then you can be more beneficial and be to your family, and just overall to yourself and your goal and your purpose for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you to make sure that in the midst of what you're doing, whatever goals you're pursuing, whatever visions you're working towards, I want you today to take the time to reflect, man, and just really make sure that you're taking time to relax, Sometimes it's amazing doing nothing, people. You know what I'm saying? Just relax, man. Your body deserves rest. You have to give it rest, man. Our minds and our heart can be going a million miles an hour, pursuing and pushing forward. But, you have to listen to your body, man. It tells you and gives you signs, and when it does, I want you to really listen to it and react, like really take the time to relax. Wow, beautiful butterfly. Um, anyways, people, that is really and truly the message today, man. It's not a long one. I just want you to take time to relax, recharge, rejuvenate, reprioritize. As you're growing and evolving, man. Especially when you're growing at warp speed. You know what I'm saying? When you're growing so fast, it's like you just want to keep going, go, 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 go. Because there's so much things that you're realizing that you need to do or want to do. But in the midst of all of that, people, I really want you to prioritize self-care and just making sure that the people that you really love and care for, man, that they are also getting the attention that they deserve, well deserved. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that is that, man. Shout out to Jamaica, man, who is the eye of this world. Shout out to Africa, who is the mother of this world. Shout out to the Caribbean and the entire African diaspora worldwide. Today, my topic, man, that I want to talk about is that I know election in Jamaica is coming up this week. And I think this is a pivotal moment in Jamaican's history, As you go out here to vote, I'm just going to share something with you, Growing up as a little boy in Jamaica, my grandparents, mainly my grandmother, she was actually the pope at our house, was one of the poll booths for our community, for the region. I remember as a little kids growing up, I remember Seymour Mullins and them, we was diehard PMP people, growing up. But as a kid, you do things as a kid and you participate, you help out, do whatever is necessary. But as an adult, man, you have to really put away childish things, man, and you don't just make blind decisions here because you're being loyal to a party. This is not freaking sports, man. This is your life. This is not just your life. This is generational that we're talking about right now, man. It's like, even though growing up we was always PMP, it's like right now you have to look and see, like, what have happened. You know what I'm saying? On the PJ, I don't want to get into all the specifics, man, but I'll tell you this much. I want you to make decisions for yourself. If you're gonna judge somebody, don't judge them on their past, people, because damn it, everybody got a past, including myself, no exception here. And I've been always pleasantries and all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to get at, man, is I judge people if I have to judge them by their deeds. I look at what you're doing right now. I look at what you've been doing for years. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want to say about Holiness, man, but this man have literally transformed our country from being a poverty-stricken country to being a country that's thriving. And the foundation that he's built between the infrastructure, creating transportation system, and all these things are things that is positioned Jamaica to really, literally, as the gold state 2030 goal, to be a first world country within the next 5 years. And I would really hate, man, for people to be nearsighted or be narrow, limited thinking, just like here in the States, where they go off of, just party loyalty and make a haste and dumb decision, man, literally, by voting for Mark Golden. This man, every time I listen to him speak, all he talks about is criticizing what the JLP is doing. What is your plan? You know? When the election was happening up here, when Kamala Harris had their plan and everybody was listening, and all you hear is criticism. And people at the end of the day, for whatever reason, vote for who they voted for. And listen, people, your decisions have consequences. I want you to know that, like, really get the gravity of that. If you want to see the consequences of your decisions, if you were to vote for Mark Golden, look no further than the U.S., which I know for Jamaicans, you're very in tune with what's happening here. So it's like, I just want you to think not about yourself, but think about Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? One of the things I keep seeing going viral is when Andrew Holness brought up the fact that, asked Mark Golden if he was born here, and then he pulled out his birth certificate. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, that was well played by Golden, but that's a performance, people. Don't get caught up in the freaking act of life, the fakeness, the old performance, period. That's a damn show. That's all that is, man. I care about substance, man. Result. You know what I'm saying? Because result is what transforms people's lives. Result is what provide all the opportunities, so we stop having a brain drain where we're creating industries in Jamaica. People, don't kid yourself. That would never happen under Mark Golden. You know what I'm saying? All that will happen is a perpetuation of freaking PJ Patterson, where he sell off the damn country and stuck money in their pocket, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, God is awakening us across the world, and Jamaica is indeed the model for this world. And I could tell you right now, it's definitely not under the leadership of Mark Golden, but instead I know facts, it's under the leadership of Andrew Holness. So I hope you do your research, and as you do your research, you're going to decide for who. Look at the pros and cons. Everybody can talk a good game, people. I don't care about what you got to say. I care about what you've done when you had the opportunity. What have you done lately for our country? One thing on Joel said, he said, hey, I don't think you really mean it that, of course, if you're born in Jamaica, that make you Jamaican, but it's like deeper than that, though. Because there's more diasporan people, like my kids. Speak for myself, really. I haven't really lived in Jamaica for 30 years, but I tell you what, I am passionate about Jamaica and the betterment of Jamaica, and all I care about is doing whatever is necessary that's going to help make Jamaica the eye of this world. And I can tell you right now, people, Mark Golden is not it. All this, I ain't going to get into all that. I'm going to just say he's not it. And Jonas is it, just like in Africa. There's two leaders right now that God is using to transform the Caribbean and Africa for the Caribbean, period, that entire region, and Johannes. He's helping to make Jamaica the eye of this world. You have the vision, people. Without vision, your people shall perish. Mark Golan have zero vision. This man, all he talk about is criticize. He don't have no plan. If you don't have a plan, people, guess what? That is a plan. You plan to fail. And that I don't want, I mean, why would anybody want that? You see what I'm saying? Same thing over there in Africa, you know. ABM Traore, you know, he will be the president of Africa because he's the one that started all this. The man got a vision that he's delivering on, you know. So anyways, people, you know, the decision is yours, man. But realize this is not a freaking sport team. This is your life for generations to come. This is for the betterment of Jamaica. This is for what God has spoken to make Jamaica the beacon, the eye of this world, basically. And who God bless, man, no one cursed, man. And right now I can tell you God is blessing on Jonas. And for those of you that support him, blessing come on to you, man. That's how it goes. Anyways, we either moving forward or backward. I'm choosing forward. And I hope that you consider that as you go out there to vote on the 3rd. Anyways, man, I'm going to cut it off there for now, people. My declarations over your life, people, number 1 is that you are a millionaire. Number 2 is that you're married to the person of your dreams. Number 3, people, is that you have amazing health and is in the best shape of your life, man. My prayer for you today, people, is that you really, you know, continue to explore the spirit of God that lives inside of you, man. Continue to work on yourself on an everyday basis. Blessings on to y'all and y'all family, man. Have a great day.